Hey guys, welcome back to Dipswitch Demos. My name is Jackson and today we're going to look at my complete audio recording signal chain. Hopefully you guys checked out my last video, which was a similar sort of style where I walked through my whole camera, lighting, video setup, and I promised that I would do audio and then editing in 2 other videos coming up, and this is the audio one. Originally I was going to wait a little longer to do this because I was planning on buying a new audio interface, but a few car payments and some stuff later, that's not going to happen just yet, so I'm using the old interface, so I thought I'd just crank out this video as it is. It's a nice little interface anyway, it's just a bit old now, could do with updating, but we're going to do it anyway. We're going to do this video. My approach when it comes to recording guitar for demos especially is to keep it as simple as possible. There's very little to no post-processing that I do with the guitar signal path. For example, I try and keep it as simple as possible, like I said, so you're really hearing my guitar signal and what the pedal or whatever I'm doing sounds like. With that being said, let's get started with vocals first because it's a pretty simple setup. I have a little SE Electronics condenser microphone set up just off frame. Just go straight into the audio interface, into Logic. You can hopefully see on the B cam it's recording my voice right now, and that's pretty much it. I will export the audio file, put it into Final Cut, and then I usually will do a bit of compression and EQ in Final Cut just on the vocals, just so it makes them pop a little bit. You know how it goes. Moving on to guitars, I suppose, and how I record my guitars. Straight from the guitar with a cable into a little pedal board usually. Even if I'm demoing one pedal, I will usually whack it onto a pedal board just so I can get some more inspiration for myself and maybe get some more space, maybe get a delay or a reverb going, or for example if it is an overdrive I'll tend to stack it with other overdrives or a fuzz just so you guys can hear what it sounds like when doing that. After the pedal board we're taking another guitar cable, pretty simple, straight into the front end of my Victory. No effects loop going on here, I always go straight into the front end. The Victory is set up kind of just on the edge of clean breakup. It's pretty clean with most of my guitars, but if I'm using my St. Vincent for example, which is a slightly hotter pickups, it will push it to a bit of overdrive, and that's just personal preference, that's how I like it. Reverb on the amp is off as well, completely bypassed out of the signal. First of all, I get my reverb all from the Boss Waza tube amp expander, and also I find that when you take the reverb out of the signal of the Victory, it quite noticeably clears up the sound without it going through that extra digital circuitry. So moving on to the Boss Waza tube amp expander, which has changed my life completely. I love this piece of gear. It's probably my favourite piece of gear that I own out of everything. It's completely changed the way I approach recording guitar. It's made me fall in love with my amp a bit more again. It's really, because I'm able to turn the amp up more, it's really changed the characteristics for me. Before then I was kind of getting into a bit of a dull with the Victory. I kind of started to feel like it was a bit lifeless and things like that, but really being able to turn it up in my bedroom and record it direct with the Boss has transformed it. I've really fallen in love with my rig again. I'm not using any external kind of Logic plugins and things like that. It's all being done with the Waza. So first of all, after my signal comes in here, we go into a little bit of compression. And this is kind of actually one of the presets from the Boss. I have not done much tweaking on it. It's a VT Rack U. I don't really know what that means, but yeah, it's just a really subtle compression. It makes it pop a little bit more for the recording on YouTube. So then we go into a bit of plate reverb. Like I said, I'm not using any amp reverb. I'm using reverb from the Waza, and that's really because it sounds better and you can tweak it more. It's much easier to get a sound that you're after. So I'm using a plate reverb here, whereas on the Victory it's sort of like a hall reverb. Then the signal splits. If you're not aware, with the Waza, it signal splits into your speaker out and your line out. So we're going to talk about the line out because that's what you guys are hearing. Line out, we have a little bit of EQ here, just a bit of parametric EQ, again just to tailor it for the YouTube stuff. I'm not going to go too much into that, and then into the cab sim stuff, which is the bit that I found really exciting and interesting. So the cab that I use to record the demos and everything, it's the cab that I really like with the Waza. Is just the 212 standard that comes with it. I imagine it's just V30s or greenbacks or something proper run-of-the-mill, but the cab just sounds great. And then the mic type I'm using is a new one that is on a Waza update. It's a Blend C, so it's a blend between a ribbon and an SM57. But with the blend, the C blend, the ribbon is much higher in the mix. So you're hearing more of the ribbon and then just a little bit of that SM57. Again, this is pretty much standard stuff. I've not really spent too much time experimenting. I just found a sound that I liked and stuck with it. And then straight after that, we're going into my audio interface, which is here. This is the bit that I want to upgrade the most. It is a Cakewalk audio interface by Roland. I believe it's maybe 10 or 15 years old now. Like I said, it needs an upgrade, but it does the job and it sounds okay. It's, you know, I don't use any of the processing that's on board. It's really literally just used as an interface to take the audio signal and put it into my laptop. I really do want to upgrade this at some point soon, and I'm looking at like the Universal Audio Arrow, which is kind of their most affordable interface and would suit me well, so I'm going to upgrade that to that at some point in the near future, but there you go, that's kind of it. So, out of the interface, we're going into my laptop. You don't need to know what model laptop it is, it's a MacBook, whatever. And here we go, we're in Logic, which is I've used for a long time, since college, and I just have, for all demos, I just have 2 tracks set up, one for the guitar, one for my vocals. Here's my vocal track recording right now, as you can see. Nothing too special there. I guess the only extra thing to say is that if I'm not using the Boss Waza for anything in particular, say I'm doing like an amp demo or something that I don't want to use the Waza for, I have a Sennheiser E906, which I believe is just like an SM57 on steroids. I think that's everything. I'm not sure how this video's turned out. I've kind of recorded something similar to this a few times and it never really worked out too well, so I just kind of scrapped it. So I hope this works out. I hope I can get something good out of it, and I hope you guys found it interesting too. Alright, that's about it guys. Thank you very much for checking out the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and maybe go check out some more, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.